And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to be taking a look at Wave 3 for the Dungeons & Dragons attack wave. We have a Harpy, a Wyvern, and a Silver Dragon in this wave. And these are some really interesting units. The Harpy is a nasty, evil creature, and the Wyvern, maybe somewhat similar. But then we have the glorious leader of what is right and holy Silver Dragon. Anyhow, pretty cool stuff. Let's take a look at it. I've never liked Harpies. They're nasty, they're ugly, no one likes them. But anyway, you have Harpies in the game now. I'm not saying I don't like using them, I just don't like, I think they're nasty creatures, okay? Here we have the Harpy. I mean, the pictures don't help here. She is a cheaper one, although it's interesting that the named Harpy is double value because she has more hit points and better things and a good special ability. They have a decent ranged attack. I'm noticing that most creatures in this game have a ranged attack. There's a lot of them. And not bad flight. A lot of different maneuvers and has the ability to fly around very easily. On the ground, of course, less capable. She has some cool things that come with her. The boots of balance here, where after you pivot, you can do something else. So that's interesting. And since anybody basically can take this, I'm curious to see how this will work with a lot of folks. This is one of those cards that I think I'm going to try to put with a lot of the different characters. But then there's some stuff that's very specific to the Harpy. Here we have the Wicked Tongue. Essentially, I guess you're just yelling at them, and they can't roll more than 3 dice. You must be really irritating them. Here, the Sadistic Coward. You can disable this upgrade to avoid receiving an exhaustion token when you make this maneuver. Here, Cruelty. All these wonderful things that she has. Monstrous Aim here, where you can discard his upgrade to get 2 extra dice when you're attacking with a ranged attack. And then the Harpy-specific Captivating Song. In essence, you basically, I guess you're just singing here, and when someone attacks you, or you can attack somebody else, then they don't take any damage, but they can't attack this round. So you can use a Harpy maybe to take out the attack of a very powerful character and then hit them with some other people. It's very interesting, and I think that the Harpy is a good support character. Now we have the Cave Wyvern, which looks like a dragon. I know it's not a dragon because it has a nasty tail on it, but it looks like a little bit of a dragon. And if I was having like dragons versus dragons, I would allow the Cave Wyvern because it has a lot of similar things to them, although it can't take any of the dragon cards. Let's take a look at its stats as well as the upgraded one, Blackthorn. Here you can see that very low hit points and shields comparatively, but then again the point totals aren't so high. But what's really cool, especially the Blackthorn, a decent bite and tail, but Blackthorn can attack with both its head and tail, which is neat. Has a decent maneuverable for flying on the ground, not so much, but again, it's not very expensive. Here's Ferocious, where you can change a blank result to a hit. Alertness, where when you get the defensive bonus at range 3 besides range 4. Not a huge deal, but what I like about this upgrade is that it only costs 1. Here, then we have the Wyvern stuff. We have the improved grab, where basically you can grab someone with your claws and then hit them with your tail. That's neat. Or the Stinger here, where you can really up the power of your tail. And then Deadly Venom. This just basically, you can hit somebody else and poison them, and they have to take their face down damage cards and start turning them face up. Then we have the Silver Dragon. Did you get that? Silver. If you didn't get that, this model is really silvery painted. I really like the mold of the model. Maybe it's supposed to look that silver. But forget that. Let's take a look at the amazing stats of the Silver Dragon. Now, Vaka, the big Silver Dragon, I think is the second most expensive character in the game at this point, or one of them anyway. What's interesting about the Silver Dragon is the sheer strength of it. You'll notice here, 2 armor, 7 hit points, 3 armor, 9 hit points. The strongest dragon that's currently in the game. And this Vaka here basically has someone who they basically will help others. They're kind of a leader. A very fast dragon. You can see it goes 5. It's not the fastest dragon, but still has some good maneuverability, less so on the ground, of course. But let's take a look at some of the interesting things that come here. The monocle of the twitching tail. This is a really neat upgrade because essentially you can take out the tail of someone else. This is great against the Wyvern, but I like it. The human paladin, where you have somebody riding on you who's doing a 3-dice attack at someone who's range 1 or 2 away. You got cold breath, so we have yet another kind of attack. But wing attack, which is neat. I like the different kinds of attacks. This thing is a tank that comes in the field. Then, some of the best cards in the game here, all right? Dimension Door, where you can discard this upgrade to move your creature basically anywhere on the board. It's like a warp thing. And then Paralyzing Breath here, where you can make an attack against someone else and they are paralyzed. You give them paralyzed tokens, which there's a card that explains how those work. You stop them. And then the extremely powerful spell, Time Stop. Now notice you have to be level 17, which the one dragon here, Baka, is. But here, you basically, everyone else stops. You can't attack, but you can move around for a while. And you can do this like every, 3 turns. It's really interesting and extremely powerful. I like this card a lot. I like all of these. The Harpy, I don't know how often I'll use her in my army just because I dislike the character. I know it's terrible, but well, whatever. The Wyvern is very cool and neat and provides a change from the dragons. And the Silver Dragon's just a beast. I would say the Silver Dragon is almost a must-buy. Not because of the beast, although that's great. You get this great, powerful character. But some of those cards, like Time Stop and the Portal and things, those are really great cards that you can use with a whole lot of other people. And that's what I like about these packs, is you can get them, and some of the cards you're like, ooh, how can I combo this with someone else? Anyhow, that's Wave 3. Come back, I'll be talking about Wave 4 shortly.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door, Tom!
Yeah?